Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday afternoon, January 13th. We're looking at Window Trader's market profile of the ES and SPY. And the market, once again, played games, just like yesterday in A period, going down and not getting the overnight low. Well, they did the same thing again today as they pushed lower. Couldn't get the overnight low, couldn't get yesterday's low. We said that's a very big area for bulls to defend to keep the daily up. Well, we were an inside day the majority of the day until M period comes out of it. Here's what's really fascinating. For a day that had overlap and a lower value, indices that didn't go up over 0.5% till late in the day, we go out and we were an inside day most of the day. Triple distribution day in ES with a price probe. SPY goes out quadruple X distribution. They have a penny single print in B. Then they have I, then they have L. Those are 4 distributions. Amazing. Triple Qs go out. Price probe, triple distribution day. L, I singles, and Russell goes out with a price probe, just a double distribution, only one set of singles in B, and an afternoon pullback in K. I'm going to go over all of these indices charts. I had an okay day, but I didn't do anything after I. It was my best trade of the day, but I'm told the room, these days are not my best. I'm really hoping we're not going to get a year of these type of grinds up, because you sit there and watch it, and before you know it, we go from C's high in SPY, which is 396.76, to the day's high, which is 399.10. We go up over almost $2.50, and I only took advantage of it in one time frame in I, but that was a good one. First trade of the day in A period, I took a short when it got below the opening. No, I was looking to take a short below the opening. It got back below there briefly, went back up. I did take one short in A that I made money on, but I thought below the opening we would get the overnight low and yesterday's low. Didn't happen. I didn't take it. Then in B period, took a long, saying once we got above A, well, good odds we're going to go get the overnight POC and yesterday's POC. Got it. Then I took a short against that level, which paid, but not a lot. Wasn't too confident to hold it, but it did pay me. Then in C period, I switched back to long because we had single prints. Got paid on those. Although I didn't like the ebb and flow. It really wasn't your typical ebb and flow for a lot of reasons. Overlapping a lower value. The indices were still down a little bit. So not a lot of confidence on those ebb and flow trades. But I still made money on it. Took a short in D, and believe it or not, lost money on it. I thought we were going to go fill singles on it. Lost on that, took it off. Then in G period, when we made the new high, I did take a short. I didn't think we were going to hold another trend. Now, keep in mind, ES had filled theirs to the tick. SPY left a penny, so SPY was still a trend day, but there was no tempo. I did short it and did okay on that. And then in I period, it was like, I think they're going to finally pop this. I took a 2 lot at 02, sold 1 out at 05, 1 out at 08. So actually that was my best trade of the day, and then just watched this grind up because I really didn't have, I thought they might come back and give this up. So I was a little surprised, a little frustrating. But still had a decent day and a good week. As far as destinations go, on the upside, SPY has today's high 399.10, which is a weekly high. And then, ladies and gentlemen, 404.08, 9 wide from December 14th, 405.50 daily high. Right now, we're above we're above all the indices. The 200 is down in SPY at 397.20, so we closed about $1 above it, and we're above 4,000 for now in ES. For the downside in SPY, price probe, L's high of 398.30, and then 3 sets of single prints. First one is 398.16 to 397.84, right? That's from M's low to K's high. Then 397.15 to 396.92, J's low to H's high. 1 penny, 395.22 in B. And then today's low of 393.34. In ES, downside price probe is 16. Single prints 14.75 to 11.50. And then their second set, 04 and a quarter to 02 and a quarter. Today's low of 65.75, and the high is 23, which is a weekly high. And then you should have the other ones I gave you yesterday to the upside. Let's go to all these charts. So, it's the market trying to get going to the upside. There's a lot of things coming up here, right? We're going to show you those lower highs in ES and SPY in a minute. Let's go to our little one first, the Russell. Russell continues to stay in a huge balance on the monthly, okay? It's a 9-month balance. Clearly wouldn't call it up unless we were to take out August high, because we're not that far. August high is 202. It's about $12. Maybe I'll see if I would call it up. But for right now, it's pure balance on the monthly. Weekly. Now look at that. That's impressive. I'm calling the weekly up. Right? I called the weekly up last week. Some people probably still call it balance. But to me, the weekly is up. And we actually took out the weekly high of December 12th now. So very nice. Monthly is balanced. Weekly is up on the Russell. And the daily clearly up. One time framing up 3 days after an outside. Remember, they had an outside day up on Tuesday. Sometimes that stuff's very powerful. Well, from 185, now they haven't gone a lot price-wise, but, $2.50 is pretty good for Russell. So the daily is up, and they're above all their moving averages. So monthly balance, weekly up, daily up. Triple Qs, monthly firmly 4-month balance. They're the laggard. Weekly up, right? One time framing up 2 weeks. And the daily up. One time framing up 3 days. Now they've closed above the 50 this weekend. Again, 1-2 days doesn't make a market, but for now they're above it. But they're still way below the 200. Okay, they're $15 below the 200. Now, so the monthly is balanced, the weekly is up, the daily is up. Let's go to the S&P. Balance on the monthly, right? 5-month balance as far as I'm concerned. I would use September's high as the high of our balance. Weekly, up. Now, I didn't put the trend line in again, I forgot. But anyway, let's use the weekly and daily. Lower highs all year last year. This is last year's high, okay, from January. Well, we're one time framing up on the weekly. That's right around the 404 level. But next week, we're going to be here. It's going to be even lower. So it's going to probably come pretty close to coinciding where the daily is. Right now, that daily, well, the daily will be even lower. So we're getting very close to a very visual and important level where the S&P could not get over all year last year. Is 2023 going to be different? Well, again, we popped over in December for a day. One day doesn't make a market. So we're going to need acceptance over this on the weekly for me to believe something's really changed and we have a chance to get some really, really good legs up, at least in the first quarter of this year. Now, the other thing, the 50 and the 20. We're above all three of these. The bigger question for me is, are we going to get continuation to the downside on this 20? If we do, then this market's going to top out at some point. But if it starts curling back up and it gets back above the 50 while this market is still in balance or higher, well, then the daily could be telling us as an early sign that this market is going to be a little different than 2022. Thanks for your likes and subscribing. I hope you had a good day trading. Enjoy your long weekend. I will not be here Monday. There will be no videos. And we'll speak prior to the opening on Tuesday.